Hello all, and welcome to The Price of Admission, the show where we review films and tell you whether or not they're worth seeing them in theaters or not.
On today's episode, we're going to discuss Captain Marvel, Avengers, Endgame, then lastly, the aftermath.
Also, just a warning, there will be spoilers during the show, so if you haven't seen any of these movies, go watch them and then come back, because we need them views. Without further ado, I am Michael Green.
I am Lou Barreto.
And this is The Price of Admission. Captain Marvel was released back in March, and it did very well in the box office. But let's take a closer look and see if it's worth the price of admission.
Kree and Skrulls and Cats, oh my! The latest movie from the Disney Marvel powerhouse, Captain Marvel, is a humorous, nostalgia-filled joyride that will leave you questioning your own assumptions about heroes, villains, cats, and gender roles within the MCU. This film sees the arrival of title actress Brie Larson to the Marvel Universe, and the return of longtime fan favorites such as Clark Gregg's Phil Coulson and Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury. The film follows a Star Force soldier, Vers, as she searches for a woman from her mysterious past, as it is the key to figuring out who she is and where she came from. She meets a few familiar faces and gets them tangled up in an alien war between the Kree and Skrulls. Not only is this the first Marvel film to star a female superhero, but it is also the first to have a female director. The main message of the movie is female independence, and thankfully, the plot of the movie wasn't sacrificed to get it across. I got to see the movie opening night, and as I was leaving, I was underwhelmed with Brie Larson's performance. It felt dry. We've all seen Room. We know what she's capable of as an actress. However, the second time I went to see the movie, I came to the realization that she's a badass, not taking shit from any man and kicking alien butt left and right. To me, the movie felt like a 90s era buddy cop flick. Nick Fury and Captain Marvel team up and track down a missing person that the Skrull need to win the war. This leads to a lot of great moments and backstory for an audience favorite, Nick Fury. Overall, I would say this is a marvelous film and is worth the price of admission.
That was some masterful editing. So, Lou, we already know what I thought of the film, Captain Marvel, but I want to know what you think. What are some of your opinions, just broadly?
Okay, so first of all, I think it was a really good movie because it explained the after of the Captain America. So I feel like it is very important for us to see this movie to understand all the stories from the Avengers, you know?
Right. So out of all 22 films out right now, how would this one rank for you?
It's not on my top 3.
Okay.
It's probably on my top 5, I think. But I really liked the history behind it, you know?
Yeah.
Because we could see how basically the Avengers were created and who was the first Avengers, which is really nice because it was Captain Marvel.
Right. So let's talk more about Captain Marvel. Brie Larson, a bit of a risky choice, seeing as how she's only done drama performances in the past. So how did you think she did as the title
I feel
role?
like she did a really good job because like the movie, her working with Fury, the actor, I feel like it was a really good acting in general, and she did really a great job, to be honest.
Interesting. Personally, the first time I went to see the film, I was not really a fan. But the second time, I kind of understood some of her more acting choices better. So yeah, she's all right. So the Tesseract, let's talk about that. For me, that just came completely out of left field. I had no idea that was coming. We haven't seen the Tesseract since Avengers, but moreover, chronologically, we haven't seen it since Captain America. So, was that confusing to you as well?
Yeah, I didn't understand it in the movie. I just like follow the movie, to be honest, because they didn't explain it.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like they're not gonna explain that because sometimes they do that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to like figure it out or something. So,
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Lou, did you think this movie was worth the price of admission?
Yeah. In my opinion, Captain Marvel is definitely worth the price of admission.
I totally agree. Let's switch gears now and talk about one of the biggest Marvel movies ever, Avengers Endgame. Let's take a look.
It's the end of an era. We've reached the end of an 11-year journey that is Stan Lee and Kevin Feige's vision. When we last left our heroes, Thanos decimated half of all life in the universe. Endgame picks up right where Infinity War left off. Tony and Nebula are drifting in space while the rest of the team regroups on Earth. Recuperating, they plot to find Thanos and avenge the universe. This is quite possibly the most emotional Marvel movie we've seen. Our hearts have been broken before by the death of our heroes' parental figures and the death of the heroes themselves. But this is the first time our heroes lost, and it was devastating. Our heroes deal with this loss in their own way, and it remains true to their character and integral to the plot. The movie makes time for each of the characters to have an emotional moment, which gives the audience two things: closure and a chance to get a larger sense of what drives these characters. Endgame is the definition of cathartic. Every question fans have been theorizing is wrapped up with a bow and a lovely card. While the runtime is 3 hours long, this film does not miss a beat. Its pacing is incredible, not a single moment could be cut. The film is a perfect balance of both laugh to your sides hurt comedy and bawl your eyes out emotion. Pro tip for anybody interested in seeing it, don't drink in the theater. You're gonna have to pee halfway through and it's not gonna be fun. I would say this film is 3 times worth the price of admission.
This film was amazing, I'm not gonna lie. Michael, are you a big Avengers fan?
I have been an Avengers fan since they came out with the first movie in 2012. Since then, I went back and rewatched all the Marvel movies that came out before it. So yeah, I would say I'm a huge
So what do you
fan.
think about Black Widow, Vision, and Loki? You think they're gonna return for the next movies?
Well, that's got to be tricky, because I know that they've got Loki, Black Widow, and WandaVision movies coming.
Really?
Like, they're working on them. They're working on them, but I'm not sure if it's going to be on Disney's new streaming service as like a TV show or as like a prequel like Captain Marvel was. So I think it'll be interesting to see where they go from there. I'm not sure if they'll officially bring them back or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they're gonna bring them back. I hope they don't bring them back as a TV show.
Yeah.
Because probably it's not gonna be so good,
No,
you know?
I agree. I agree.
But what else? The ex of Thor, Captain America holding
Oh
it.
my gosh, that was crazy. That little callback to Avengers: Age of Ultron when Cap moved the hammer just a little bit, and he proved himself worthy of this
It was
film.
worth it.
Yeah, I really think that was probably my favorite part of the film. Just seeing him kick some serious butt with a hammer and a shield. That was on point.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
And he was like fighting together with Thor.
You know what? I wasn't a big fan of Thor in this movie.
Really?
You know, I thought when they first introduced his character, it was funny, and then they just overplayed it. Like,
yeah, they did it too much. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Because like it was funny, but I wanted to see him angry. You know?
Yeah, I wanted to see him like the God Thor, not the fat guy who lives on my couch Thor. You know. All right. Speaking of which, let's talk about the time travel. Now, in the movie, Loki gets a hold of the Tesseract and vanishes off into space. Do you think he'll come back that way?
Oh yeah, that's true. I feel like they can do that in some movies, like in a some part of it. But yeah, I hope they do it because I want to see him like in action again. I don't want him to die, to be dead, you know?
Yeah. Maybe in an alternate reality.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, Disney Marvel just acquisitioned 21st Century Fox, meaning they have access to the full roster of the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and Deadpool.
Deadpool.
So, when do you think they're going to start rolling out these X-Men, Fantastic Four, Deadpool films?
I'm not sure because like now they're gonna do it in Guardians 3, right? And then Spider-Man, the new one.
Yeah.
And I wanted, like, if I could choose it, I wanted them to explore more still like Marvel movies, you know, Black Widow, Vision, and everything. And then after that, they could do it like the X-Men, you know. So if I could tell like how many years, probably 8 years,
Okay.
5 years. I hope so. Like, I just wanted to watch it all, you know.
Yeah. So Lou, this is a bit of an obvious answer, but Do you think this film was worth the price of admission?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, like, this was probably one of the best movies of the Marvel that I ever watched. And I can recommend it for everyone to watch. For me, it was perfect. And definitely, like, you guys have to watch it.
What a great answer. Lastly, we have a wonderful review of the movie The Aftermath. Let's take a look.
The Aftermath is a star-studded film adaptation of the novel written by Ridian Brooke, set in post-World War II Germany. The film, directed by James Kent, follows the main character Rachel Morgan, played by Keira Knightley, and her husband Colonel Lewis Morgan, played by Jason Clarke, as they attempt to navigate their new lives. The couple is assigned to live in Hamburg during post-war Reconstruction, but tensions arise with the German who previously owned the house that they are living in, played by Alexander Skarsgård. The set decoration and costuming are beautiful. It's almost worth seeing the film just to experience Monica Albert's masterful design. As an audience member, you really feel like you are in post-war Germany. Frankly, where this film falls flat is within the character development. It does a poor job translating the story from a book medium to film, which ultimately leads to a disconnect with the characters. In this flat love triangle between the Colonel, Rachel, and Steven, you never really care who she picks, because the stakes don't seem high enough. In a way, the audience can expect that she ultimately stays with her husband after the illicit affair, because that is the only twist possible. Knightley, Skarsgård, and Clarke do the best they can with such a half-hearted script. Thus, this film is not worth the price of admission.
Wow, that didn't look or sound good. Alexander Skarsgård was pretty hot though.
Agreed. Well, that's all the time we have, folks, so thanks for tuning in, and I hope we were worth the price of admission.
But this is a free video.
Anyways, I'm Michael Green.
And I'm Lou Barreto.
And this is the price of admission. Oh, you see that? That was some real skill right there.